Hi everyone, I am delighted to be presenting remotely on my Skill Trees project, which is all about gamifying the hard things. And so in this talk, I'll be talking through what skill trees are and how I've been using gamification to help upskill yourself, how I've been using it in makerspaces as well, and a future book on the horizon too. So my name's Steph Piper. Some of you might remember me from the summit last year where I was presenting on my GlowStitch LEDs, which are now successfully crowdfunded, which is pretty exciting. I'm a creative technologist and I work in a library makerspace. I also make a whole range of adorable soldering kits that are available under my brand name, Maker Queen. And just to explain what a skill tree is, it's essentially a game mechanic. So if you've ever played a game, you can earn XP or experience points and spend them in a skill tree just like this one. You can unlock different abilities and make your character better at playing the game. And when we talk about gamification, it's essentially a way of pulling out some of those pretty fantastic and fun game mechanics that we love and putting them into the real world to help incentivize doing hard things. Duolingo is a pretty fantastic example of that. If you're trying to learn a new language, it can really help push you by encouraging you to get badges and rewards and points and maintain a streak over a long period of time. So the problem that I'm trying to solve with this project is making it easier to learn new things. If you've ever sat down and tried to learn something new, you might find that it's rife with paywalls. And once you start getting into more of the advanced skills, it's got lots of gatekeepers as well. And so I wanted to make something that really incentivized non-compulsory hands-on learning. So at my makerspace at work, I really want students to take advantage of all the great gear that we've got and have a go at making some cool stuff. It's also really tricky to get a good amount of feedback on what your skill level actually is, what your skill gaps are, and what the skill levels of others are actually at as well. And I intentionally wanted this to be off the computer, on paper, and an off-screen experience, essentially, to help you reflect without distractions. And this is the solution that I've come up with. It's a printable template that you can download and use. And you start down the bottom in the basics area, and you can progress to the more advanced tiles at the very top. And if you've done anything already on there, you can color it in. And it's pretty much like a big bingo sheet. There's 73 tiles total with some set your own goal tiles at the very top. And you can very quickly get an indication of what your skill level actually is. So have you colored in a whole lot of tiles? Are there some, gaps in your skills? And you might be incentivized and inspired to try new things that you might not have considered or might not have even realized you could do as part of that skill. And I've been testing these out on some of my staff members. So some of the Makerspace student staff that come in, I have no idea what their skill level is. And getting them to fill out one of these has given me some quite unexpected results. So some of the students have got quite a high skill level, which I didn't expect, and others have not even had a chance to use a hot glue gun yet. And so getting them to fill this out has meant that I've been able to really assign tasks that are actually at their skill level, really pinpoint, and spot train them in targeted ways. And if there's downtime in the space, I can send them away to go and work on some tiles that are exciting to them at the time. And it's had some great shareability online as well. So it's been delightful to see people sending these back to me filled in. And probably my favorite one that I've seen is someone who they have every tile in the electronic skill tree completed, except for the letting the smoke out tile, which is truly a skill to flex. And it's also had some great unintended effects as well. So it's a bit of an equalizer in the way that if you're someone who has maybe a bit of imposter syndrome, it is really great to acknowledge and celebrate how much you've actually done and maybe even realize, wow, I actually am a bit of an expert in this and I didn't really realize. Or if, you have people who maybe are a little bit overconfident in their skills, maybe have quite a lot of theory, but maybe not as much hands-on skills, it's a great way to really acknowledge that. And I think sometimes all of us often get stuck in our ways. We don't quite realize that there's always more to learn and more to do. And using something like this is, a great reminder of what else there is that you can be doing. This is all open source as well. So all of the templates that I've made so far are available on my GitHub page. And you can go and download any of the 35 skill trees that are already up online and ready for you to use. And you're also welcome to make your own skill trees as well. And some of the guidelines that I've made around making these are essentially centered around making sure they're radically flexible. So each tile needs to be something that is not too specific and really hammers in on the specific tool, software, whatever it is that is at the core of that skill, and not being restrictive with expensive tools or software. It's also about really acknowledging that everyone's journey is so different, and the broader, the better. So this 3D modeling skill tree is a great example of that. I collaborated with an expert in animation and rigging and texturing kind of 3D modeling, where myself, I'm an expert in CAD modeling for engineering and 3D modeling for prototyping kind of skills. And when we collaborated on this together, we realized how much we both didn't know about, this huge area of 3D modeling. And obviously, the broader your skills are, the better you are at that certain area. And I'm also on my way to making a book about this topic as well. So in a Makerspaces book, there would be about 13 different skill trees, plus a whole bunch of self-reflection activities and a way to really visualize all of your skills across a whole range of areas in a progress dashboard. Plus, you'd also be able to calculate your Makerspace XP score. In an even bigger version of this book, I am working on a copy that would include about 60 different skill areas. So a huge array of things. And in there, you'd be able to go and calculate your life XP score. And so in that big book, there will be about 60 skill areas, and they're all broken up into categories. So in the classic skills area, you'd have stuff like woodworking and blacksmithing and metalworking, even dance and reading and writing. And everything that's ticked on here are things that are already completed and already available up in that GitHub page. And anything that is unticked is stuff that I am hunting for experts in. So if you are an expert and interested in contributing to this project, I would love to hear from you. In the tech skills area, we've got stuff like computing, which is aimed at people who maybe have not had much computer experience at all. And progressing into the more, complex technical fields like cybersecurity, mobile app dev, and Linux skills as well. So a huge range of stuff. Plus, there'll be a life skills section too. And this will include stuff like cooking and baking and finance and gardening. Plus some self-care and life admin as well. And I've had a whole bunch of great guest contributors that have submitted stuff that I didn't really even expect at all. So I've had a roller derby skill tree, a Dungeons and Dragons one, and a comic book artist one too. And people have been sending me a lot of great translations on the more popular trees too, which has been delightful to see. I've also been making a whole range of posters that you can pick up for free as well. And these are a conglomeration of skills, so you can visually see a whole range of different areas up on the wall. And if you're interested in contributing to making a skill tree, I'd love to send you a pack of goodies in the mail to say thanks. Or if you'd like to have a go at beta testing one of those books, please let me know. We'll just get you to scan this QR code up on the screen here, and it will link to a form where you can let me know that you're interested. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you online.